Sifu Raphael is the founder and host of Coaching Call, Heroes Rising, The Seer Show, and New Tip Daily. He works with individuals, groups, and businesses and helps them find clarity, purpose, and understanding of who they really are in business and personal life. Sifu Raphael has used his skills to develop a variety of multifaceted businesses in the martial arts and fitness industries. He owns and operates a 10,000 square foot martial arts and fitness facility in New York. Jose Escobar is an award-winning, nationally recognized personal development speaker, published author, and sales professional. He leads compelling, high-level communities consisting of entrepreneurs and advanced leaders through his two business models, the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf and the Connected Leaders Academy. He is also the co-host of Heroes Rising.
Jose, my friend, happy Friday. How are you today?
Things are phenomenal. I am excited. I can't wait to jump into today. We have some amazing guests. And of course, I always get to see you. So it's a blessing.
It is a blessing, brother. So let's bring them on. We have David and Yasmin. Here they are. Hi, everybody.
All right. Good to see you all.
Good to see everyone.
We're going to have an amazing show. And thank you both for being here with us on Heroes Rising. I'd like to start with David has been on my shows, and we've had great conversations as we have gotten to know each other a little bit. So David Doerrier is a dynamic professional speaker, trainer, and coach with over, listen to this, 30 years of experience in the field of training and development, leadership, and communication. With a passion for helping individuals and organizations achieve their full potential, David truly brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise to his presentations. David's engaging style and unique ability to connect with his audience have made him a sought-after speaker at the industry conferences, corporate events, and educational institutions across the country. He's also known for his ability to simplify complex concepts and deliver actionable insights that empower individuals to take their communication skills to the next level so he can make you a great speaker. David, thank you so much, my friend.
Well, thank
Love
you so
to
much.
hear what you have. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
And you're on. What are you bringing with you? You always have so much information, and we'd love to get your insights today.
Well, that's great. That's a great question. And Jose, good to see you. And Yasmin, great to see you as well. So I think what I'd like to share today because I work with folks that are, yes, I work with the professional speakers, but I also work with that business owner or that subject matter expert that just needs to do a better job of speaking at the local networking group or making more of a connection or engaging their audience. And there are always three things that always come up when I'm evaluating these business owners and these speakers in that type of format. And the three things I'd like to share with the audience today are, first of all, it's very important to know your audience. Understand the information that you're going to be passing along to this audience. Is it going to be relevant to them? Many times I've experienced with speakers, they address this networking event as if we are all experts in that field, and now it's going over our heads. So number one, know your audience. Number two, trying to incorporate stories into your presentation. We as adults, we love to hear stories, and we love to hear short, compelling stories, again, relevant to whatever the topic happens to be, because in this case, we now can visualize that story, see the characters, we can smell what's going on and hear what's going on and see the locations. But most importantly, we as an audience member, we're experiencing that story. So in many cases, that individual in the audience is saying, hey, I'm experiencing that same problem. Maybe I need to contact David so he can help me. Or, wait a minute, I know somebody else that's having that same problem. Let me go ahead and introduce that individual to David. So first, know your audience. Second would be incorporating stories. And third, something I see many inexperienced speakers do, and that is they miss the conclusion. You need to have a compelling conclusion. Here is where you get a chance to wrap it up and to also have some sort of a call to action. So the three things: know your audience, incorporate stories, and finally have a compelling conclusion.
You're muted, Sifu.
I did it again. I did it again, Jose. So knowing your audience, I love that concept, because even though, and we all as speakers probably have done the same speech, but your audience determines on how that speech is delivered, right, David?
Yeah, you certainly, yes. So if you're going to be giving that speech as a keynote, if you're going to be giving it in a situation where you can have more interaction, such as Q&A, maybe you're going to do that presentation in a way, reformat it into a workshop, or reformat it into a training or mentoring someone. So in each case, you can deliver it differently. So this would be a great example of not only knowing your audience, but now we're getting into some of the other foundational skills that I call the ABCs of speaking in public. A is the agenda, B, beliefs, and C, there are 5 core communication skills. Here, what we're talking about is the A part, the agenda. Who are you talking to? What are you going to talk about? Where are you talking? How are you going to talk to them? And also any miscellaneous things that need to be incorporated into that. So not only knowing your audience, but how will you be addressing that audience is also equally important.
So talk to us about the 5 that you just mentioned, because I think that can help so many people.
Yeah. So this is a great question. There are 5 core communication skills. No matter how you're talking, whether you're one-on-one or one-on-many, it is, first of all, breathing. The speaker, the presenter, the person who's running the meeting, breathing is probably, well, not probably, is the most important part. Because if you're not breathing correctly, if you're not breathing from the diaphragm and you're breathing from your chest or your upper chest, that means that you're not relaxed enough. So you need to be relaxed to be breathing from the diaphragm. That's going to do a couple of things. One, is going to help project the voice. It's going to help with vocal variety. It's going to also help with arm movement, natural body movement as well. So breathing. The second is eye contact. Here, eyes are a mirror to the soul. All of these things add credibility, but certainly eye contact adds credibility to your audience. If you're at a live situation, scanning the audience. If you're in a virtual situation, I recommend looking directly into the camera. It takes practice, but now you're looking directly at your audience. So breathing, eye contact, vocal variety. Have you ever listened to someone who is doing the same monotone all the way through and has no emotion? They're talking about their business, but they got no emotion. They're not smiling. They're not happy. You're talking about your business. So be happy about it. Vocal variety. The next is listening. You need to listen to your audience with your ears. You also need to listen to your audience with your eyes. Their body language is going to tell you a lot about how your message is coming across. And finally, the 5th is nonverbal. This, it's amazing. 93% of our message comes from our nonverbals. Even before the first word comes out of your mouth, your audience is already making a judgment of you or having a perception of who you are based on how you look, the shoes you wear, the clothes, the hair, the amount of hair on your head, and in my case, the hair on my chinny chin chin.
So perception, big, that actually, you talked about getting to know your audience and so getting to know your audience before you even get on a stage or you get on a virtual definitely helps you deliver differently, doesn't it? And their perception, what do they expect? How do you deal with maybe what they expect and what you have? How does that come across?
Well, great question. So in your example, you're talking about how how to understand that before the event starts, so I could send out a questionnaire of some sort to all of the individuals that are going to be signing up, or as they sign up, they complete a questionnaire of some sort. I can also ask the meeting organizer a lot of these questions. Who are the people? What are they expecting? And so on. So that would help me to tailor my presentation to them. If it's the day of the event and I don't have all of those questions answered, I can poll my audience at the very beginning of that session. How many people have the fear of speaking in public? What type of speaking are you doing now? What do you want to get out of this workshop? I can ask that right at the very beginning. That's accomplishing a number of things. Not only is it answering my polling kind of questions to give me a better idea of who I'm talking to, I'm also engaging my audience. And I'm getting them to do something as well. So it accomplishes a number of things to open with some questions.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that Jose is ready to ask you questions because he grabbed a book. Jose, I'm watching you, kid.
Yeah, no, the book struck a chord on something else, but I do have tons of questions, but we don't have time for that. But I will ask this question. In terms of the person who prepares themselves to present their way to success, right, on stage, what is that gap of income potential from somebody who just, kinds of like wings it and somebody who's professionally trained? Well, how much of a difference does that really make?
Well, that's a great question. It certainly makes a big difference because, I'll give the example of a networking group. I'm involved in a couple of them here in the Atlanta area. And the objective of the networking group is for all of us to understand what each of us does. Because the next time I go to another networking group and somebody says a couple of magic key words and says, wait a minute, Raphael does that. Jose does that. Let me go ahead and marry you two guys so you can have a discussion, because that's exactly what this other person is looking for. Where it falls apart is where that business owner gets up in front of the networking group and cannot explain very clearly what it is that they do. And if I don't understand it, if the people in the room can't understand what it is that person does, there's no way that I can network for them. So right there, that business owner is losing a whole room full of salespeople. So yes, there is definitely a loss of income.
What's the great answer? What's the lowest hanging fruit on a speaker, let's say an aspiring speaker or a semi-experienced, kind of like beginner level speaker who's like, you know what, like I want to level up like today. What is the like 1, 2, let's say 3 tips that you would give them, low hanging fruit of what they can do immediately to level up their presentation?
Well, I think that's a great question. It's part of what I had said earlier, the 3 things, but I'll add some additional things, knowing your audience stories and the compelling conclusion. I think the biggest thing is understanding that being a subject matter expert doesn't automatically qualify someone to be a great speaker, that there is a lot more to getting up and speaking to people. Many people will say, I've been selling this for years. I never get nervous when I speak in front of an audience. I don't need any help. I think that in my tagline is talking and telling ain't training or selling. So just getting up and just vomiting information to your audience is not necessarily effective. So just talking is not effective. So I would say, to answer your question, being a subject matter expert is not all that's needed. Yes, it's important to know your product and what you're talking about, but there's also a structure that goes to making a compelling and engaging presentation.
Beautiful. David, I got to tell you, every time you come on, every time we have a conversation, you always bring such great knowledge, and I appreciate you doing that. Really, really do. What I want to do right now is take a moment and talk about my co-host. But before I do that, take a look at this.
Hi, my name is Jose Escobar, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. We're a growing tribe, a community of entrepreneurs all over the world, globally, all across the country, high performers, titans of industry. If you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to grow personally and professionally, scale your influence, develop your skill sets, Move the needle in your business, more clients, more money, more profit, the bottom line. And of course, grow your circle and your network like never before. This is where you want to be. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. We are scaling massively. We want to welcome you in. Check me out on Instagram and on Facebook, the @ JASCO25. We look forward to having you join us. Take care.
Great, great. I got to tell you, Jose, you are doing great stuff, and I'm so proud to know you. So my friends, Jose Escobar is an award-winning, nationally recognized personal development speaker. What are you, 8, 9 times published author? Has over 25 years of sales professional. How many is that, Jose? 20, how many?
28.
28. There you go. He is a husband and a father of 5 beautiful children. He leads compelling high-level communities consisting of entrepreneurs and advanced leaders through 2 multi-6-figure business models, the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf and the Connected Leaders Academy, which I am proud to be a part of. Jose is exceptional in his presentations, where he has reached audiences collectively over 30 million and radiates through his dynamic coaching programs, inspiring his international 300-plus entrepreneur and executive clientele to master their personal and professional excellence. Jose, you keep leveling up daily, my friend. I love it.
Well, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Sifu. You're amazing. And as always, honored to co-host this amazing show, Heroes Rising, that always brings on powerhouse coaches, leaders, entrepreneurs globally. David, you are amazing. Thank you for adding that value to us today. I actually took some notes here myself, as I always do, and it never fails. I always have my pen and pad in front of me because sometimes I can't catch a replay. So I'm like, you know what? I got to maximize the opportunity. So if you're here today and you're watching live, I hope you have your notepad and pen, because it's only going to continue to get better. So thank you so much, David. In terms of, Paul Hoyt, good to see you. So I'm going to talk about today the importance of having the courage, the guts, the ability to pull the trigger on perhaps exploring entrepreneurship, being in business for yourself. I know not everybody watching Heroes Rising is necessarily an entrepreneur. Many of you might be professionals, high-end professionals in your careers, your corporate jobs, but you're leaders, and in some capacity you might be a coach and that type of thing. So, but today what I want to talk about specifically is, have you pursued the idea of maybe looking into being your own boss, maybe starting your own business, maybe pursuing entrepreneurship, becoming at some point a serial entrepreneur? It's very, very important to consider these pieces, because for me, my life completely changed the day I decided I wanted to pursue entrepreneurship. And many of you know my story. In the last 15 months, I've done some great things in business, right? We're just as the beginning. I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to go into the day I decided that I wanted to pursue entrepreneurship was actually like 15 years ago. And what happened there? You have to think differently. You have to pursue personal development. You have to pursue trying to be your best self, right? You have to invest in yourself. I can't tell you how many courses and programs and masterminds and paid coaches and mentors and boot camps and seminars and conferences and books that I've read and podcasts and YouTube videos. I mean, I can go on in terms of not only how much money I've spent to become better, but the time and energy and the resources that went into it. And that's what it's going to take. If you're going to pursue entrepreneurship, you're going to pursue being your own boss, it's going to require you to be the highest version of yourself. It's going to require you to dig deeper and give more, right? You're going to have to leave it all out there in the trenches. So many people in life are hanging out on the sidelines, watching everybody play the game. Why are you on the sidelines? Get your gear, get in the game, get on the field, right? So, and let me be clear, pursuing entrepreneurship is not for everybody. being in business is not for everybody, but everybody should, in my opinion, pursue being a business owner at least once for 1 year, fully committed. And very quickly, you're going to learn whether it's for you or not. I've said this before, because some people, it's just not for you. But for some of you, if you pursue it, you never thought about it, but you pursue it, you're going to be like, wow, this is exactly what I needed, what I wanted. So Tony Gaskins, I don't know if anybody's heard of Tony Gaskins. He has a famous quote that says, if you don't build your own dreams, someone will hire you to build theirs. I'll say that again. If you don't build your own dreams, someone will hire you to build theirs. There's another famous quote out there. I don't know who said it, but in every business, there's only room for one dream. And if you don't own that business, it's not yours. So I want you to internalize that, because we all have the ability to be great, because the seeds of greatness are within all of us, right? And there's a difference between an employee mindset and an entrepreneur mindset. Big, big difference. The entrepreneur mindset is always thinking about, how can I create? What is next? How can I be better? Not how can it be easier for me? How can I get better to rise up? An employee always thinks, when can I go on lunch? When can I take a break? When am I allowed to do this? I wonder if this is possible. The stapler, right? I always use this prop when I'm giving an analogy of an entrepreneur and an employee. This stapler, as an employee, is handed to you for free. And you rent it out during the day, and then you go home and you do your own thing. As an entrepreneur, you got to pay for it. You're going to protect it, because it costs money and it costs time and energy, and you have to get resourceful to figure out what you're going to do in order to get to the next level in your business. So there's a big gap between an employee and an employer, right? Big difference. The tax code in this country, in the US specifically, if you're watching international, it doesn't apply. I don't know if it applies. It's built to benefit the entrepreneur. What do I mean by that? The entrepreneur is going to get all kinds of tax write-offs. I just went to Mexico for a wedding, but there was a lot of tax write-offs that went through there because I was opening my mouth about business. I just went to El Paso, Texas. I ate a bunch of amazing food, met some amazing people, had a good time. Business trip. The clothes that I'm wearing, tax write-off. Percentage of my cell phone. The books that I buy. I would buy these books normally if I didn't own a business, but they're tax write-offs. I can keep going and keep going and keep going on the benefits of what it is to be an entrepreneur. And it's not so much just these tangible pieces, it's the intangibles as well. There is so much that goes into the difference between having a job and having a business. If you want more, pursue more. Go out there and get it. Jeff Bezos. Many of us know Jeff Bezos, right? I was hoping he was going to buy the Commanders. Didn't work out. It ended up being the whatever group. I know Magic Johnson's involved. Congratulations, Washington Commanders, or should I say the former Redskins? We are now back on the map. But Jeff Bezos said, "I knew that if I failed, I wouldn't regret that. But I knew the one thing I might regret is not trying." Wow. How many of us are not trying? I would rather regret giving it my all and pursuing my highest self, tapping into my full potential, than saying, I never tried. Failure is part of life. Failing forward is part of the journey. Because when we fail, we learn. And you pick up the pieces. Think about the mosaic, right? Think about the mosaic that you see in some kind of a lobby or a museum. The mosaics look beautiful, but they're built from broken pieces. The broken pieces of your journey create this masterful piece of art. This is the journey of an entrepreneur. This is the journey of a business owner, is failing, 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 reward. Achievement, failing, reward, achievement. So many, it's like this. It's like this. So I always encourage people to pursue that. Let me give you something that's called a financial tip. This is a financial tip that I learned when I was selling life insurance. And this financial tip will apply to any of you if you are in entrepreneurship primarily, but it could also apply to you if you just have, your career, your profession. But I want you to write this down. It's a financial tip. And when I say financial tip, it's TIP. So it's an acronym. Put TIP. The T stands for taxes. We're all going to pay taxes at least 4 times, right? Consistently. The first one is income tax. Every time you get paid in this country, in the US, they take taxes out of there. And then you go and you buy something with whatever's left over, and you pay taxes again. It's called sales tax, right? So now you got hit twice. And then whatever's left over, you try to save it and invest it. And then they tax you again. That's called capital gains tax, right? So now you got hit 3 times. And then we all die. And it's called death tax or estate taxes. So I've heard of this joke before. In life, 2 things are guaranteed: death and taxes, right? So I say that to say, we're going to be hit from every single angle in taxes. So as an entrepreneur, you're helping yourself out. The tax code is on your side. The I in the financial tip is inflation. Think about the inflation numbers, right? You want to be able to outpace inflation. You want to be able to be in a position to be able to make enough money to where you can outpace inflation, because every 10 years, the dollar loses half of its value. That's more of a Robert Kiyosaki-ism, right? So you want to make sure that you are outpacing inflation. And P for a financial tip is procrastination. That's another enemy of your money. These 3 things I just mentioned: taxes, inflation, P, procrastination, is an enemy of your money. Procrastination. Now that's on you. Are you going to do something about it? Are you going to position yourself to make more money? Are you going to position yourself to live a life second to none, to have lifestyle, which is money and time freedom? It's up to you. As they say, if it's meant to be, it's up to me, right? So entrepreneurship is going to help you overcome these challenges, these enemies of your money. And there's many investment vehicles out there. And if anybody's interested in those, I happen to know some people, just send me a DM. But you want to make sure that you're outpacing inflation, you're making more money than all these taxes that you're paying, and you're positioning yourself to put this in your favor. So there's a great book, and I reached over to get a book earlier, Sifu, when you saw me. This book right here, called Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, right? It's EBSI, employee, big business, self-employed, investments. So everybody goes from being an employee to owning a business. But when you own a business, you essentially own the job, but you're still working massive hours. The goal is to go from being a business owner to being the S, which is self-employed, right? To where you now have some kind of a franchise system to where you're not flipping the burgers and you're creating more time and abundance. And then when you graduate from there, you graduate to I, where now money works for you and you're not so much working for the dollar. Investments, right? But how many of us are right now tripping over $1,000 to invest? Fact, savings is at an all-time low right now. So many people are massively in debt. Everyone is complaining, criticizing, and condemning, but very few change. And nothing changes until something changes. And that change is intrinsic. Right? In order for the external to appear, the internal has to change. And a lot of the internal is the mindset. How are you thinking? And how you think directly affects what you say, right? And what you say directly is linked to what you do. And what you do is directly linked to the results you get in life. So really think about these things. Think on these things. I've read in Think and Grow Rich, and this is a nugget for you right there. Let me say it again. I read in Think and Grow Rich. I'm a reader. Leaders are readers. I read in Think and Grow Rich that how do you become a millionaire? Think about it all the time. Thoughts are things. Everything in life is created twice. First in your mind and then in the reality, right? And the physical plane. So these are some very important principles I want you to think about. Discipline, very important. Morning, evening routine. Do you have one? So I'm just throwing some things out there for you to ponder and consider and think about where you are in your journey, your financial journey, your professional journey, your life journey. And can I tell you something? They're all interconnected. They're all interconnected. So I want you to take what I said today, ask yourself a couple of questions. How am I combating the enemies of my money that I mentioned, the financial tip? Am I giving life all I've got? Am I living at my best self, at my highest level? Am I pursuing discomfort? And do I have the courage to step into the unknown? And the unknown for many is entrepreneurship. So many people feel that they need to know it all. They need to have their ducks in a row. They got to have everything just right before they pull the trigger. No. Let me just say no, you don't need that. Some of you just have to throw mud on the wall and see what sticks. Some of you got to go and create a mess and clean it up along the way. Some of you got to stop learning and start taking action. So think about everything I just said. I hope this was of value to you. And I'm in love with being, because I realized being in business puts me in my best self, puts me in my best state. My mood is at the highest level. I am vibrating at the highest frequencies when I'm pursuing my best self. So I challenge all of you that are paying attention today, that are here or catching a replay. I challenge you to challenge yourself in ways that you've never done before. And that is that.
Love it. Love it. Wow, Jose, you always bring it, man. You say it from the heart, and I know that you want everyone to be successful and you're always encouraging people to level up. And that's one of the reasons I love having you as my co-host. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sifu. And now we're going on to another heavy hitter. This heavy hitter, Yasmin, I have gotten to know well as of late. She is a 10X family member. And for those of you who don't know, 10X is near and dear to my heart. As you can see, it's all over behind me in various different pockets. And it's tattooed on my wrist. so I'm a big fan of Grant Cardone and equally a big fan of our next guest. Yasmin Abulaban is a Canadian citizen. She's a wife and a mother of 5 children who started her career in business and sales coaching at the age of 43 after finding her purpose and helping entrepreneurs to live the life of their dreams through their business. Her mission is to empower women entrepreneurs to achieve the success they deserve. Through our mindset, marketing, and sales programs, Yasmin is helping all of these individuals live their life of their dreams. And above all of that, guess what? Have it all. And you can have it all. You can have it all. Most people think they can't. You can. And Yasmin is living proof of that. She is living the life that is exactly what she is describing here and what is exactly her bio. And I'm just super, super excited to bring Yasmin. The floor is yours. Let's lean in and take some notes. I'm excited.
Thank you very much, Jose. This is an outstanding introduction. Thank you so much for that introduction, and I'm honored to be on this platform today. So yeah, today I'm talking about sales. Today I'm talking about living the life of your dreams through building a successful and sustainable and a scalable business. And this is the only way that you can live the life of your dreams, because you need finances, definitely, if you want to get to where you want to be. Everything costs money, and if you want to invest in yourself, in your business, in your life, in your kids, in your family, then you will have to have money. And this comes through building a successful and scalable business. So before we dive into our topic today, which is the mistakes that you need to avoid when you are qualifying your clients, I wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between successful businesses and businesses that are just getting by or struggling to get by. If you study successful businesses, you will find out that they have systems in place, they have processes in place, and they are following those processes. For example, for you who know Grant Cardone and who doesn't know Grant Cardone, Grant Cardone started building his empire with one company. Today, he has 7 privately held companies, which are scaling steadily and successfully. What's the secret behind this steady growth? It's having and following the same exact sales process and processes across his companies and across his teams. And here comes the importance of following a sales process if you are in sales. And let me ask you, which one of you is not in sales? If you are a mother, you are selling your kids to go to bed on time. If you are a teacher, you are selling your students to do their homework. If you are a personal trainer, you are selling your clients to keep pushing and getting to the next level. So let's agree that there is so much randomly in the life of a salesperson. Do you agree? There is so much randomly in the life of the salesperson. And the only thing that gets you into stability is following a sales process. A salesperson meets lots of people, different clients with different needs, with different characters and different challenges, different attitudes. You get distractions, you get phone calls that throws you off. You get cancellations, you get family emergencies, traffic jam, clients' objections, and the list goes on and on and on. And the only way for you as a salesperson to stay calm, contained, and in control is by following a process. I would like to highlight five benefits of following a sales process when you are in sales. The number one benefit is that you will be able to close more deals in a less amount of time. The number two benefit is that you will be able to deal with complex situations. The third benefit is that you will be able to stay stable with all the variables that are going around you. The number four benefit is that you will be able to develop discipline, momentum, and confidence in yourself by repetition, by following the same sales process, repeating the same sales process. And the number five benefit is that it allows you to expand and scale your business. So since we're talking about the sales process, let's dive into the 5 steps. You see, I'm talking in terms of numbers. We have steps, we have processes. Each process has steps, each step has protocols, and this is how you can grow your business and grow, like have that exponential growth when you are in business by following those processes. So the 5 steps of the Grant Cardone sales process that I followed and I share with my clients are: first, greet your client. Second, qualify your client. Third, present your product or your service. Fourth, write up your client or send them a proposal. And 5, close your client. But today we are going to talk about the second step in the sales process. Now, all steps are important in the sales process. You shouldn't skip steps and you shouldn't change any of them. But this step specifically is the most important one. If you get it right, you will easily close your clients and you will be able to serve them by closing them and pay your bills at the same time, which is a win-win situation. If you don't get it right, you will not be able to serve your client or close them. And no matter how much you are smart, you are the subject matter expert, as our guest David mentioned, you will not be able to serve your client because you were not able to get this step right. Some people call this step the qualifying step. Some people call it fact-finding. Other people call it consultation. Now call it what you may, but make sure to have it right, because this is where you will be able to, number one, uncover your client's wants and needs, and number two, land your client on the right product and fulfill their wants and needs or solve a problem for them. Honestly, if I were to talk about fact-finding, I will need 1 or more or even 2 hours to cover this important topic. But today, and for the sake of time, I will talk about the common mistakes that if you can avoid in qualifying your customers when you are on a consultation with them, at least you are in a safe space. So number one, have your pens and your papers ready and start to take notes, please. The number one mistake that you need to avoid when you are qualifying your client is not asking quality questions. Avoid not asking quality questions. Make sure that you are asking your clients quality questions, in fact. Before you get excited about starting talking about your products and your services and how they are superior to similar ones in the marketplace, and talking about your expertise, and just take the time to ask your client quality questions, such as, what brought you in today? It's a very simple question, but it tells you what the client is trying to accomplish by hitting your website or visiting your store. Or what made you hit our site today? Why today? Why not 1 month ago? Or why not in the next month? What problem are you trying to solve by looking at our products or services? These are quality questions. And by the way, these questions apply to every industry. Now, if you think that this is too intense, some people tell me I can't ask these questions and invade people's privacy, then I'm afraid that you will end up being an order taker and your clients will shop you on price and they won't understand the value that you bring to the table. And good luck with finding your clients' real wants and needs and being able to serve them through your products and your services. So the number one mistake that you need to avoid when qualifying your client is not asking quality questions. The number two mistake that you need to avoid when qualifying your client is not getting real answers and not digging to understand your client's dominant buying motives. Your client's dominant buying motives is the reason they are looking at your services or considering your services today. So, for example, a salesperson asks, what made you hit our site today or click our ad? Client says, oh, I'm just looking. Average salesperson says, excellent, let me show you what we have. Wrong. Just looking is not an answer. A professional salesperson will dig deeper and ask, what are you looking for? If you are a real estate agent, you might need to ask, what are you looking for? Are you looking to upgrade or downgrade? Oh, why is this important to you? Tell me more. So this is how you dig deeper. Why is this important to you? Tell me more. Let's say you are a personal trainer and you're asking a prospect, why did you decide to book this call with me today? Client says, I wanted to get an idea about your services. A professional personal trainer will ask, why today? What's the one obstacle that you wanted to overcome by looking at my products or my services, or to hit your fitness goal? Client says, I want to build muscles and lose fat. Professional personal trainer says, why is this important to you? Client says, I want to look fit and in shape. A professional personal trainer will dig deeper and say, tell me more. Client says, well, I'm trying to impress that girl. I'm trying to impress my girlfriend. Oh, now we know the real reason why you're looking at my services. What happened just now? You just uncovered your client's dominant buying motive, the reason they are looking at your services, or the problem that they are trying to solve by looking at your services. Now, these are 2 out of 8 mistakes that you need to avoid when you are qualifying your client. But again, the topic is so wide and it is so important. I can go on and on and on, but for the sake of time, I would like to give it back to Rafael. But if you want to know more about this important topic or about sales, reach out to me through social media, ask me your questions, and I would be more than happy to answer all your questions.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great job, great job.
Thank you.
Great information, and a lot of salespeople don't do qualifying, and therefore they don't understand why the person is not buying. And I believe qualifying is one of the most important processes that we need to do. I do that daily, believe it or not, because I have customers coming at me all the time. And because of that qualification, I make a decision. Do I want to work with them or not? It's my choice.
Amazing.
That is so powerful. That was phenomenal, Yasmin. Thank you so much. Great value there. And yeah, the Connected Leaders Academy, I qualify everyone. That's why, Sifu, you know, I don't have a link where people can go sign up. They have to talk to me because I vet out everybody. I pre-qualify everybody. I interview everybody one-on-one, and that's what it's all about. So thank you. That was great. All right, so we're gonna wrap up right now with our next speaker. Sifu Raphael is the founder of Heroes Rising, which is this show that we're on today, and 4 other unique shows which are done live. He's a fitness professional, solutions expert, executive coach, and head instructor at Max Martial Arts and Fitness in New York. Massive facility. Sifu Raphael's purpose is to unite like-minded individuals to create new possibilities and impact the world that we live in. Sifu Raphael believes that we can all change the world. Most importantly, we need to start with ourselves. And then, and only then, can we help others. And I'm just thrilled and excited. Sifu Raphael has a wealth of knowledge. This guy is a lifelong learner. Just, you know what? I'm gonna leave it to you right now. The floor is yours, brother. I cannot wait to learn from you today, as always. Sifu Raphael, please.
Thank you. You know, Jose, you and I are so like-minded. It's very interesting. Your topic today, I also touch upon what you spoke about, and I'm going to drive it even home. You drove it home, but I think when we look at different views, different ways of thinking, I want to talk today on positioning yourself to win. You know, the pursuit of victory. By the way, if you have questions at any time, please interrupt, because understanding is also one of the things that we need to do at all times. So at any time, if anybody here has a question, please, by all means, let me know. And I'll stop what I'm saying and I'll answer that question, because, you know, for me, it's always about leveling up. It's how do we level up? How do we position ourselves? So think about that. Victory, the yearning to taste sweet nectar of triumph. Wow. It is truly an amazing journey that allures, and it does challenge the very core of our being. To position oneself to win is not merely a game. Many people do think it's a game, but it's more not of chance or fortune, but a delicate dance between strategy, willpower, passion, resilience, and most importantly, habits. And Jose, you spoke about that earlier. Habits, your discipline, what you work on. So listen, to be victorious, one must recognize that the battlefield of life lies not only in the external, and Jose, you spoke about this before, but it also lies within the deepest confines of our minds. It's the depths of our thoughts where we plant the seeds of victory. You need to plant, and you need to plant it daily. I ask you to embrace your uniqueness and harness it as your weapon. And I say weapon because, hey, guess what? I teach weapons. And I love weaponry because it teaches you how to arm yourself, how to use the right weapon at the right time. So do arm yourself. For it is the actions in your journey that set you apart from the crowd. You need to embrace your story. What is your story? For it is through your experiences that you gain the strength to face any and all challenges that may come your way. The path to victory is not always straight and narrow. Sometimes there's a lot of different ways we can go, but it often has twists and turns, and it is demanding of us that we adapt and we persevere. Should we allow setbacks to hold us down, to hold us back? No, 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 no. Setbacks are not defeats. They are stepping stones that propel us forward, 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 forward. So don't be afraid of failing. Be afraid of not learning from that failure. We need to embrace failure, for it is a teacher that imparts wisdom and humility upon us. It does. You need to really embrace it. Those who dare to embrace failure are the ones who rise above mediocrity and position themselves to be victorious. Remember, I'm talking today about positioning yourself. You need to find a way to position yourself every day to be victorious. I ask you to join me in positioning yourself as I position myself, as everyone on this panel has positioned themselves like never before. I want you to take a moment. Take a moment to consider your position currently and where you want to be. Let me ask you, have you thought about your actions, how they've placed you where you are? I want to take a moment and talk about a friend of mine, a colleague, a client who was taken to heaven this week. He fought for 6 years and he never gave up. And even recently, in the last couple of months before his death, he wrote a book. Even though he knew his days were numbered, he did not give up. He positioned himself to win. He knew that his days were numbered, but he also knew that his knowledge must live on beyond him. Michael Metcalf, you, my friend, are an inspiration. And I know that we will meet again and share very interesting stories. So why did I bring up Michael? Well, he touched my life. And I know I touched his. Because his triumph should be heard. Your triumph should be heard. I call on you to position yourself to win. Position yourself to win. You should do this every day. Every day is a new endeavor. It may not be easy, but it should be daily. Most wannabes see others winning, and they usually say, hey, they have it easy. I don't know how they do it, but somebody must have given it to them. What they don't see is that that person has positioned themselves, like I'm asking you to position yourself. I suggest you surround yourself with allies who uplift you, who inspire you to be the best version of you that you can be. An ally will tell you the truth. Listen, your friends will lie to you because they love you. They don't want to hurt your feelings. But an ally, it's okay if they hurt your feelings because they want you to succeed. And that's the difference between a friend and an ally. An ally will tell you the truth even if it hurts. So choose your companions, allies, and friends wisely, for they hold the power to either bolster your strength or exploit your weaknesses. If you have the right allies backing you, then and only then you become an unbreakable force to be reckoned with. I ask you to consider this question carefully. Who has your back? I mean, no matter what. Who has your back? In the pursuit of victory, never shy away from taking risks. You need to take risk. Every day I take a risk. Fortune favors the bold and those who dare to push the boundaries. Those who do this are the ones who redefine the limits of success and definitely break the glass ceiling. Embrace uncertainty, for it is within those moments of doubt that greatness often emerges. Remember, my friends, that to position yourself to win, it is not an event, but a lifestyle. That's right, a lifestyle. It requires dedication, commitment, and an unyielding belief in your abilities. Yes, your abilities. If you don't believe you have abilities, then you need to learn to start to grasp them. Find what your abilities are. Get good at them. So hold your dreams close to your heart and envision yourself standing tall upon the pinnacle of success. This is employing the theater of the mind. Dream it, do it, and become it. Let this vision guide you. Don't be deterred by temporary defeats. In the end, it is the journey, not the destination, that truly matters. Enjoy the journey. Celebrate each step along the way, no matter how small. For it is through these essential and critical incremental wins that we build the foundation of our victory. Position yourself every day to win. My friends, I just, you have to do it. No one else is going to do it for you. And let no obstacle or anyone stand in your way. May your path illuminate the spark of determination, and may your victory be a testament to the power of your spirit. Position yourself every day to win. Michael, may you rest in peace, my friend. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here with us today, for being on Heroes Rising. You're all exceptional. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Everybody, have yourself an exceptional day, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks. See you then. Take it easy, everybody. And with that, I will put the... Here we go. Adios, amigos.